Hey everybody, welcome to Breakfast with Bob, our Challenge Roth edition. My name is Bob Babbitt, brought to you by HOKA, Fly Human Fly, SFuels, Right Fuel, Right Time, Master Spas, deboer Wetsuits, Premium Plus Sports, and of course, our Challenged Athletes Foundation. We've now raised $178 million, sent out over 48,000 grants to challenged athletes in 73 countries around the world. We are in Germany right now with a man who has done so much for so many, the main man from Challenge Roth, Felix Walchshofer, joins us. Felix, it is such a pleasure to be back. This is where we first did our show in 2013.
Long time ago. We're getting old, my friend. So happy to welcome you back.
It's wonderful. And talk about your numbers for this year. I know you sell out in, 90 seconds?
Yeah.
How many people are racing?
So we are keeping the numbers. Actually, we went a bit lower because we found our bike course too full last year.
Yes.
So we're a bit down on the numbers, which was planned. So over 3,000 single and 700 relays will be racing. 7,500 volunteers. We have a waiting list for volunteers now. And we're expecting again 300,000 spectators, which makes it the biggest one-day sport event in Bavaria, if not Germany.
So for a lot of race companies, COVID killed them. They went away. And for a lot of athletes who had signed up for races, they were like, well, I can't race, I want my money back.
Yeah.
And a lot of races said, well, we can't give you your money back because we go bankrupt. You were one of the few who said, if you want your money back, we are here for you. If everybody had asked their money back, would we be chatting right now?
Well, actually, we offered the money back, of course, to all our athletes, but the athletes helped us out. We told them that, hey, it's a really, really difficult situation for this event, and if you would donate a part of your entry fee, we are sure there in the next years to come, and thousands did, and it was amazing. It was one of the most emotional parts in 40 years of history. And we gave them the chance that everyone who donated, that they have 2 times the possibility to race in the year they want.
Yes.
So, and they helped us out. It was amazing.
Did it surprise you?
To this extent, yes, it surprised me.
Yes.
We have so many loyal athletes, but it was amazing. It was really amazing. We came through the situation that well because the athletes helped us. Well,
and the reality is, as you say, Challenge family. The sport is a family. We both go back a long way in the sport, and at the end of the day, you meet very few unhappy people in the sport. Great people. When you go out to the start of the race, or you're at the finish race, does it ever get old?
No, absolutely not. For us, it's 15 months of planning for 15 hours of racing. It's crazy. So, for example, the stadium, all the infrastructure here is already ordered for next year. So we are 4 months of the year we are planning both races, and this is our Christmas,
New
Year, everything coming together. You know, my flat is full of friends from all over the world, and it's awesome. It never gets old.
When you look back, there was a point where this event was Ironman Germany, and then Ironman said, we're moving to Frankfurt. And I assume Ironman probably thought, well, you guys will just go away and not do a race.
Yeah.
But you guys decided, was that scary for your dad and for the family to put on this event without having that Ironman support?
It was scary. It was scary at the beginning, and no one believed us that we can concentrate on our strengths. And the strength here is the community.
Right.
Everywhere are the banners, home of triathlon, and this is exactly what this region stands for. And when Ironman and my father sat together, and Dad decided not to sign with Ironman anymore because it wasn't in the interest of this event. Mass start in the channel would have been highly dangerous.
Right.
One loop bike course would have called Solar Hill. 50,000 people are standing on Solar Hill, you know. And we knew, and this is also what back then Lou Freeland told us, we are too big, and we are as important as Kona. And so they wanted to bring us down. And then Dad decided, no, we're going on our own. It was very difficult in the first years. Ironman tried to kill us. They went on our dates. They tried everything they can, but we always concentrated on our strength. And until now, this is the secret of Roth, to concentrate on ourselves, to concentrate on the athletes, to exceed and actually over-exceed their expectations. And this is what we work for.
I've never understood races feeling competitive with each other. Yeah. I've always felt that it's important for Ironman to be successful, for Roth to be successful, for Super League, everybody. Yeah. There's room for everybody in our sport.
The more organizations we have in the sport, the bigger the sport gets, So we actually have to work together. And I think there has been a major change now in Ironman with Andrew Messick leaving, who more divided the sport towards Scott, who I have the feeling wants to unite the sport again. And that's a very, very good development.
Well, it was fascinating for a lot of years. You could qualify for Ironman at Wildflower or at St. Anthony's or at Chicago. So those events had a vested interest in Ironman being successful.
Absolutely.
Then when Ironman says everybody, the only way you can qualify is at my event, at our events, then there was no reason. Then people felt it was competitive. Yeah. And you had felt that, right? That Andrew was trying to compete with you and Challenge Roth.
Yeah, it was the case. It was unpleasant times, I have to say, because from my mentality, it's let's work together, let's try the sport together.
Me too.
let's all meet, and hopefully for the future, maybe there are even new things that happen.
Can do it together.
Exactly.
So you've had a conversation with Scott DeRue, who I was very impressed with, because he comes from, he's a dean of a marketing program in Michigan. He was with Equinox. When you own a fitness center, customer service is all that matters. You have to be customer service. And that's what you are all about. That's what our sport is all about. People don't have to do triathlon. They're doing it because they love it.
Absolutely.
And because they feel taken care of. Conversation with Scott, it was a good one?
Yes, I was really surprised. Very shortly after he got into power, he sent me an email that he would like to talk. I think we scheduled for half an hour, and we talked over an hour. And I had a really, really good feeling. He's not on an easy post right now.
Right.
There were many, many mistakes being made by Ironman before his time with the split of Kona and Nice, which is absolutely horrible. It's ridiculous. A couple of weeks ago in Hamburg, the announcers were shouting out, "Hey, is there anyone left who wants slots?" No one took them,
Right.
And that is really, really bad.
It hurts the sport.
It hurts the sport. It hurts the Ironman brand. If you look to Ironman, so many Ironman races now can't survive anymore. They need 70.3s on the same day, which I find very, very dangerous development.
Yes.
Now,
Got people going way too fast. Multiple loops. Yes.
Yeah. So I think hopefully Ironman gets back on their feet with Scott. I have invited him to Roth this year. He said, "Hey, I want to go to all our races, so I don't have time, but next year I want to come." And this is a really good sign, If we are talking more, if we are cooperating more, this is what the sport needs now.
What's fascinating is the Ironman brand now has UTMB, right? And they've got Rock and Roll Marathon.
Yeah.
And all of these things can work together to grow the sport of triathlon. I mean, rock and roll is sort of the low-hanging fruit. Somebody is running, eventually, the reality is, at 50 years old, you're not going to run any faster. You better start swimming and cycling if you want to keep running and become a triathlete. So I've always felt that all that stuff should work together, and I don't think it has. I think everything has been independent.
No, it's very segregated, and that was the wrong and a sad development.
Yes. When I look at the stadium that's right here, a week ago, that was like that was a field, right? There was nothing there.
Yeah, it needs 3 weeks to build everything up, and 1.5 weeks to bring everything down here. It's quite impressive from the logistics side. Yeah,
that is unbelievable. And on race day, last year you did a great job eliminating a lot of the motos on the course, making it way safer. Yeah. This year, same type of thing?
So last year we sent a survey again, and the athletes told us what they wish for.
Yes.
And we found 27 points that we can immediately change.
Yes.
And so the course is now completely off traffic. We have 80 referees. It's the race with most referees in the world, 55 of them on motorcycles.
Right.
We have rearranged the start groups to just over 200 per start group, more start groups. And we have done so many things to put the experience of the athletes higher, to make it safer,
right,
and of course fairer. This is one of the most important points. We introducing Race Ranger this year, to assist our referees. We have special briefings with the pros that already have started a long time ago, and we just want to be as professional as we can to make the race as safe and fair as everyone wishes for.
So there was a point a number of years ago, it might have even been a decade ago, when Challenge was growing as Challenge Atlantic City and all the different things, and you were traveling to all those things.
Yeah.
And I could tell that you were pretty stressed.
Well, yeah, it was stressful. And coming back to Ironman, Ironman and Andrew bought the good races from us, and it was really a time where I went in a really terrible burnout and stuff like that, and then I decided, what do I want for my life,
Yes.
And I realized that what I really want is to have this race as the biggest and best race in the world, and so we gave the company to CB and to our colleagues from Amsterdam, the Challenge family, and kept that race, and are now working on only this race.
Only this race with 6,000 people in. Yeah.
I mean, we have 14 full-time employees in the office all year round.
Yes.
And the joy came back, and I think the race is flying high since then.
No question. When you look back at favorite moments, right? We filmed here in 2014 and followed a number of athletes, including you, because it was your dad had passed and you were racing for your dad.
Yeah.
And that's actually, every time I watch that film, that's a very emotional part of that. How hard was it for you to race that year? Because you're everywhere on the course, and now you're racing, talking to volunteers, thanking volunteers. But was it difficult for you to race because you're thinking about your dad the whole time?
Yeah, the switch was really difficult because I worked my ass off until 11 o'clock Saturday night, and then I tried to switch into an athlete brain, and my good friend Victoria was staying at my place, and when I came home she said, have you actually eaten today? And I'm like, oh no, I didn't actually. And then I burst into tears because I was so in the organizational mindset that I completely forgot which bags to pack for what discipline, I mean, it was really interesting. And then Victoria gave me some mashed potatoes.
Yes.
And a glass of red wine, and she said, drink it, it's good for you. So I did, slept a couple of hours, and then I raced, and it was definitely one of the best experiences in my whole life.
Just because everybody knows you, and people are cheering for you, and you're cheering for them, and they're probably, I think a lot of people were surprised to see you on the course racing, not on your motorcycle with Felix on your helmet.
Yeah. It was a big surprise, and it was so great to see my volunteers from the other side. I know more than half of them personally.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Yeah.
It gives me goosebumps. It was great.
So when I think about great moments of this race, you think about Chrissy Wellington breaking world record, think about Jan Frodeno, you think about last year with Magnus and Daniela. What moments stick out for you?
The moments that stick out for me are the age group athletes finishing, especially when night sets in and we have the laser show and more than 10,000 people in the stadium, and everyone is coming in the stadium to fill his or her dream.
Right.
All the age group athletes that come from every corners of the world, 94 nations again this year. That is so rewarding. So rewarding.
There's nothing, race directors always tell me, whenever I'm doubting what I do, I go to the finish line and just watch somebody come across the line with tears. They've changed their perception of themselves by coming across that finish line.
Absolutely. It's so interesting to look in the faces. There is anger because someone didn't beat his best time. Then there is joy. Then someone carries his or her little one, you know. And it's magical. And I think only our sport can deliver that.
For you, you have all these amazing athletes coming from all over the world. This year, I'm excited about Zichara. Zichara, 6'9", hockey player. I think he's the first guy we'll be interviewing who's won Stanley Cup.
Absolutely.
You're excited about him too.
Yeah, totally. And it's such an honor that he contacted us to do this race, Absolutely amazing. But we have so many great athletes, athletes with disabilities and racing this year. One of the best singers of Germany is running his first marathon in a relay from Reisen. Jonas Deichmann is in the county on race day. It will be his 60th.
I know.
On a consecutive day, and he's gonna continue until September. I
know.
The whole county is crazy about Jonas, and amazing personalities coming and racing.
Media-wise, the amount of exposure for Challenge Roth. Back in the day, people knew of Ironman because of the NBC show, and people would hear, oh, Solar Hill, they knew that. But the amount of worldwide exposure Challenge Roth gets now is, it goes up every year.
Yeah, absolutely. We are taking a completely different approach than Ironman and PTO.
Right.
So we produce free of charge. We give these signals to the world free of charge because we want to grow the sport.
Exposure.
And of course, it is good for me and the race as well. It's good for my sponsors, you know. And I think this is the only way how to do it. We have an amazing live stream this year with beloved Belinda and Sebastian Kienle.
Yep.
Great experts of the sport. It's all live in Germany. 2 different state programs. The big ones are broadcasting live.
So we're talking all day.
Exactly. If you look to that direction over there, we had to double this spot for the satellite dishes, for the production studios. They bring everything they have from their hardware to Roth, you know.
Right.
We have special power generators, because if the electricity would go down, there would be 2 channels in Germany having black picture, you know. It's amazing. It's absolutely stunning how it grows every year, and all the institutions, people, sponsors, media who wants to participate and be a part of this race.
I always think it's funny because when you look at our history of our sport, we don't have people paying to be spectators, right? We're not tennis, we're not golf.
Yeah.
People aren't going to pay us for TV rights.
Yeah.
We know what works. What works is you create great programming and you provide it and let people see it. And then those people might sign up and come do the race.
Absolutely.
It's understanding the bigger picture.
Yeah, and also like sponsors approach us because we are everywhere live in German TV. Condor,
Right.
Germany's second biggest airline, came as a sponsor. They approached us, you know, and it's amazing to see those developments.
I love it. Felix, thank you for everything you do for the sport. What I love is your heart is the sport. All you think about is how do we grow the sport and make it better.
Yeah.
I think we're sort of kindred spirits that way because all it's about is growing the sport and getting that next person who's never seen a finish line before, changing their life by coming across into that stadium right there.
Exactly, yeah.
Felix, thank you for always being so generous with your time.
No worries.
The main man, Felix Walchshofer, has been our guest. Again, day 1, Breakfast with Bob. We're off to a great start. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. See ya.